I just hosted a jazz club themed engagement party, and I'm hoping that by sharing how I planned, prepared, and enjoyed this party, you can easily do the same. The first thing you'll want to do is select your venue. It's important to either have this party after dark or in a place with no windows, so it feels moody and mysterious, and darker spaces make people feel more comfortable in dancing. Food will be more effective and memorable if it's uniquely presented, uncommon foods, along with the availability to eat as much as your guests want. Don't hide food in the kitchen, display it so people feel free to indulge. It does not have to be expensive food to achieve this goal. I chose to make homemade fudge and freeze it during the month leading up to the event. I had a mashed potato martini bar with disposable glasses and matching spoons that matched the black and champagne gold color scheme. It was a massive hit. I asked our closest friends to bring Gordon Food Service already prepared mashed potatoes warm in crock pots. After sprinkling in some onion powder, adding a block of cream cheese, and a stick of butter. All the mashed potato martini toppings were chopped and ready to go the day before the party. The little disposable martini glasses were hilarious, well worth the extra expense. I'll show you some screenshots here of some of the things we ordered for the party to help you out. We spent the day before the party making ranch and Italian pinwheel sandwiches with token vegetables on the top. We served Sprite, Coke, water bottles, and milk that looked like little juice boxes. The milk was so fun and popular, especially because of the fudge. Circling back to the color scheme, see how I kept the color scheme and theme the same. From the invitations to the party decor, food service, party favors, all the way to the thank yous. You won't be able to make your invitations until you have all your vendors reserved, so make sure you watch this whole video to ensure that you're ready to print those invitations. Our invitations were made to look like a vintage poster for a jazz night by researching the language and graphics of those kinds of posters on Pinterest. Even the envelopes and stamps matched the theme. I spent less than $60 on these custom invitations using my postcard method. Find a video for that process coming soon. Be sure to answer the who, what, where, when, why, and how on your invitations. The invitation is actually the beginning of your party. Speaking of Pinterest, always start a board on Pinterest when designing a party. Remember to delete the ideas you won't be using so the board stays tidy and it's not overwhelming. We wanted our jazz club to have a bit of a tropical feel, especially because I hosted this event in March in Ohio. So we had feathers and palm trees. For the feather centerpieces, they are from Amazon, and I will give you the link. They took forever to assemble, so give yourself a lot of time. And the bottles are wine glasses that we put some ribbon on and then spray painted them with some champagne gold spray paint. We used the silhouette of the happy couple on the invitations and on the boxes around the Jazz Sand members. We borrowed a projector from the library, used some black science fair trifolds, some champagne gold craft paint, and used a hot glue gun to secure and trim some tinsel curtain around the silhouette. The band had some really nifty music stands to sit behind. I made a video on how to make these palm trees, so be sure to check that out. We had tinsel wands for dancing, tinsel draped around the front of the stage, little spotlights from the floor pointing up at the band members, along with the really strong stage lights. The rest of the lights in the room were either out or very dim. Again, we're going for that dark, mysterious jazz club feel. Our photo booth had actual costume pieces. I've never had a good response with a photo booth that had cardboard cutouts or fake props. They're cheap, they don't make good pictures, so ask around to borrow real costume pieces when you do a photo booth. There are even stores where you can rent costume pieces. And of course, all of our costume pieces had a vintage, jazzy feel. I think part of the reason why our photo booth was such a hit that night was because of all the party favors we provided. For a guest list of about 200 people, about 160 came. We had this wall of props to pick from, and we ran out of the fascinators and the tinted glasses. We had about 10 bow ties left, and we did throw away about 30 glow sticks out of the 100 that we bought. We had about 20 necklaces left over out of 100, but for the most part, everyone was wearing something we offered from our jazz club themed favors. Again, not 20s themed, jazz club themed. I absolutely failed on these globe lights. I didn't test the lights that came with the lanterns. They were blue and dim. I wish I had gotten white lanterns, warmer colored and very strong battery candles in combination with some fairy lights, so the lanterns would have lit up and looked more like globes. Black tablecloths were provided by the venue, and we added gold tulle squares to each table, but I wish I had gotten some sequin gold fabric instead. You wouldn't need to sew it, just cut it and maybe add a little bit of glue if it's fraying. We did take the time to have higher end costume pieces for the bridal party. We made feather fascinators and decorated some fedoras for the guys. The band, they were amazing. They opened up the evening by starting their playlist about 15 minutes before the start of the party because there are always people who arrive early. And it's very important to have your party music setting the tone from the second people arrive. I'll include a link to the band's website. My best advice for hiring a jazz band in your area is to contact the college in your area with the best music department. Some of these band members were still in college. If there isn't a good band option that the college kids are part of, the instructors should have some really great recommendations for good bands in your area. Live music provides both amazing ambiance and something to watch. It's fantastic. We transitioned to the activity portion of the evening where we hired a dance instructor to teach some basic fun swing dance moves, along with a line dance to staying live. Those who chose not to dance were plenty entertained by those who were dancing, though I know the dancers were having way more fun. Aside from the awesome instructions, one of the highlights from the dancing portion of the evening was when the instructors had the engaged couple come up on stage to show off their newly learned dancing skills. It was adorable and gave the feel of a first dance, like at a wedding, but so much more magical because the whole room was dancing with them. Here's the link to our adorable dance instructor's website. The bride and groom had a trivia game planned on PowerPoint, and the guests were eliminated when they picked the wrong answer until there was one winner who got an operation-themed gift basket in honor of one of the questions in the trivia game that referred to a rather gruesome dental operation the groom experienced. One regret, we should have had some really fun background music playing during the trivia game. I'm thinking a playlist of Harry Belafonte would have been perfect. The rest of the night was open dancing that felt like a wedding reception with all the typical dance floor favorites. Timing-wise, you can see how we divided up the night, and I would repeat this timing if I had this party again because it was perfect. It would have been amazing to hire a couple bartenders to make vintage-looking cocktails or mocktails, and if the ceilings were lower, there would have been some crazy tinsel chandeliers that I would have loved to make. But overall, it was a beautiful event, full of unique experiences and so much joy. If I missed anything or didn't explain an element of my party, please comment below this video and I'll be sure to get you the answer you need. Follow the link in the description of this video to download my 5 secrets of a perfect party to help you make this jazz club party more customized to what you want.